Hello and welcome in to another edition of Where the 99 Lead. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and Where the 99 Leads. It's a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville. We talk all things regarding the university. We talk about the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. From time to time, we'll talk athletics, and of course, we talk students at UPike. Joined today by a returning guest and always one of our favorite shows at the University of Pikeville, and Where the 99 Lead. Ambria Ray joins us. Ambria, welcome back in.
Thanks, it's good to be back.
One of the people on campus who has some of the most direct contact with students, and all about students, all about student success. Hey, that's your job title, Director of Student Success at the University of Pikeville. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the office. We're going to talk about what goes into making sure that students have every opportunity to be successful. But first, let's talk about Ambria Ray. Let's talk about your background and how you arrived where you are today.
Well, that's a long story.
Let's tell it.
No, I'm a graduate of Pikeville College at the time, and English. I have a degree in English, and then about a master's degree in English as well. I taught first at Pikeville College in the developmental English program, and then I just stayed on and morphed into this position after I developed a rapport with students and enjoy working with students. So,
of course, the Director of Student Success, and I guess first off we need to define what the Office of Student Success is all about. Let's talk about that, how it functions, and what the purpose of a Student Success Office is.
The purpose is exactly as it sounds, to help students be successful. That's the very reason that we exist. We care very much about our students. We are a family at UPike. We care about them being successful. And we recognize that certain populations of our student body have a little harder time than others, and we want to make sure to reach out to those people, especially freshmen, struggle with that navigation from the transition from high school to college. So we reach out to them especially and work with them on things like time management and study skills, and maybe some things that they think they know but they don't.
Sure.
And that is very much an individual definition of success for each one of our students, but that's the whole reason that our office is there, is just to help them overcome obstacles that may be preventing them from being the students that they can be, and learn the ropes, the ins and outs of being a college student.
And of course, that freshman year always the toughest.
Yeah.
If a student conquers that freshman year and they overcome those obstacles, then the chances of success are much greater. Let's talk about what some of those obstacles are. You have students who are first-generation college students. That's an obstacle in itself.
Absolutely. We are a school of opportunity. So we have students from all differing levels of ability and background, and first-generation students a lot. So maybe they don't have that experience at home. Mom, dad, or family doesn't necessarily know what it means to be a college student and how to juggle all of the lives that you have to live, a full-time student, full-time athlete. A lot of our students have jobs outside of that, or have their own children, or are taking care of parents. So we help educate them on how to make all of that work and learn how to manage their time so that they can juggle everything and still make good grades and find time to study. That's one of the biggest learning curves for our students, especially first-generation students, time management, and then we work with students on study skills. We find a lot of incoming freshmen don't really know how to study.
Even the students with high test scores and high GPAs coming out of high school.
You have students with a high GPA in high school, high ACT score, and they think, they're on top of the world, they've got this because they were very successful in high school. That's not always the case if they don't know how to apply what they've learned. The biggest indicator for success in college is the high school GPA, not their ACT score. So we pretty much can get an idea of how they might perform in the classroom by that, but overall, most of the time we find students don't know how to study. They may be used to getting a study guide and fill in the blank, I know the answers, and then study those answers. And that doesn't always happen in college. You kind of have to figure out what's important. So we work with them on creating note cards and how to figure out what the instructor wants them to know, and highlighting the important details. Just on an individual basis, whatever that student needs.
Sure. And a lot of it's very basic. It's just that students maybe have cruised through high school based on their abilities, and they didn't have to study. Now, on a college level, class is much tougher, and professors looking for a deeper answer than just the answer.
Exactly.
But they want students to expand on that, and sometimes students aren't prepared for that.
Right, and it's not that they're not smart enough
Sure.
or that they're not capable. They've just not been challenged in that way yet. So we try to help with that with students who will come in and talk to us. It's just one of the services that we offer to try to help one of those obstacles.
Sure.
Yeah.
Seems like something that's been a theme over the last several shows. We've talked to many different departments, and it seems like time management has come up in each show.
Absolutely.
How do you help students prepare for managing their time, managing their schedule, managing their social life, managing their work schedule, their sports schedule, and their classroom schedule?
Well, that can be tough. First, they have to be willing, because it's very exciting. When you come to college, you have all these new experiences, new friends, playing sports, or, just some of them do just go to class or work. But you don't know until you know that you need to know,
Sure.
So how we help is we ask them to sit down with us and just be honest. Be real about what you need to do. What are your obligations? We start with the class schedule because they're always a student first.
Sure.
Start with the class schedule. We have a sheet that goes from 7 a.m. to midnight, each square 30 minutes, and for the entire week, every day, 7 days. And we plug in their class schedule, then we go back and look at other obligations like sports. If you play on the football team, for example, we know you have practice at this time, you're going to have meetings in the evenings, we plug that in. And then we look at meals and any other obligations that they may have and see where we can plug in time for them to study. More times than not, they think they don't have time. They're too busy, can't study, I don't have time to do that. And we'll show them, well, actually you do, because you're, napping 2 hours here. You could take a nap for an hour and study for an hour. So we talk to them and we say, we're not judging. I don't care if you play Call of Duty for 3 hours at night, but you have to make time to study as well. So to get them to talk to us and be real, if this is your life, we're just trying to help you find a way to make it all work. So just talking through it and then problem solving and looking to see where we can plug in what they need to get accomplished.
3 hours of Call of Duty a night. You ought to be able to gain some credit hours from that.
You should. There have to be some spatial reasoning skills there or something.
Sure.
I don't know.
Absolutely. But video gaming, unfortunately, does not get that bachelor's degree. Ambria Ray, Director of Student Success at the University of Pikeville, our guest on this edition of Where the 99 Lead. And, of course, we talk about student success, many different ways that students are assisted, guided. I think we've called you one of those people that is a mother, a sister, a friend, a coach. You wear many different hats on campus, but you don't do it alone in the Office of Student Success. Let's talk about who else makes up the team.
And thank God I don't. My other half is Mandy Stacy. She is the student success counselor, and she is the one who works mostly with students with the time management and study skills. She will show them how to create flashcards and note cards and then quiz them and help them get ready for a test.
Sure.
We laughed this last finals term. She could have passed the physics test just as well as any of the rest of them. We have in our office, we have a lounge area. We have some couches and beanbag chairs. It's a real comfy place. We also have some computers and a printer where they can print off papers. We have a little kitchen area with a refrigerator. We usually keep water and Capri Sun. You wouldn't believe college students love Capri Sun.
Sure.
And we always have chocolate, some kind of candy,
Right.
But it's a comfy space for them to hang out and or study and have study groups. And many times you will find Mandy in the middle of them, quizzing them, helping them get ready for a test. And that's not all we do. It would be very difficult to sit here and tell you everything we do because I never know on a daily basis. There's certain services that we provide that we will help with, but we might be running to Walmart to pick up cough drops and NyQuil, in the evening because somebody has called and said, I don't feel like getting out and my roommate's going to practice. Can you help me?
Sure.
So we do different things.
Yeah, a lot of things that maybe college students are used to having at home,
Right.
and they can yell into the other room, hey, Mom,
Yeah.
help me out. Ambria Ray, the Office of Student Success, the little things that make a big difference.
Exactly.
And help college students overcome obstacles, overcome those little things that might wreck our day.
Right.
You're there to provide those services. You talk about preparing for tests. What about tutoring? Is that involved at all?
It is. We do have another office on campus that provides tutoring services over in the basement of Valeria Library. We do refer students to tutoring because I'm an English major, Mandy majored in criminal justice, so we have a wide gap of knowledge there, but we most certainly don't know everything, and I don't do math in public at all, so we utilize that service. We send students to tutoring.
Many times a college student, especially a new college student who has been a good student in high school, they're hesitant to ask for help.
Exactly.
And is that how your office intervenes in a situation like that?
We try to serve as a liaison. We're student advocates, and we do talk with them. It can be devastating to be an A student all your life and then not know how to do something and have to ask for help when you're the one used to giving help. So in that instance, a lot of times Mandy and I will work as a pep talker and cheerleader and say, we don't all know everything, so we need help with some things, and try to encourage them to seek out the resources that they need.
Absolutely. It's part of the college experience. You're tuned to Where the 99 Lead. Today we talk student success. Of course, that's on everyone's mind at the university, from the president's office all the way down, is making sure that students have every opportunity to be successful at the University of Pikeville. Joined by Ambria Ray, Director of Student Success at UPike. And Ambria, besides their time in the classroom, what are some of the things that help students be successful in college?
There are so many things just as important outside the classroom as inside the classroom success. They need to feel engaged, like they're a part of something. This is their family. They need to be excited about being there, be happy. We can't make them happy every single day, none of us are.
Right.
But we want them to know that we care.
Yes.
And we want them to feel that they're cared for and that they're important and they make a difference. So some programs we instituted just for that, to help with that feeling, of feeling like they belong to a family and
Right.
feeling engaged. One of my favorite things happens on Wednesday.
Yes.
We call that What's Up Wednesday.
Got it.
At 8:30 on Wednesday nights. We used to do it every Wednesday, but it kind of grew out of control. Not out of control, but it's big. So we do at least a couple of times a month.
Right.
And how that came about is students, whether they're freshmen, whether they are from Pikeville or California or Puerto Rico, wherever they're from,
Sure.
will get homesick sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
For something. And whether it's mom, dad, their dog, their bedroom, a certain pillow that they have at home,
Sure.
or a lot of things. But I can't do anything about those things, and that makes me sad because I'm a fixer. I want to help.
Sure.
But one thing we can do something about is they miss home-cooked food. They miss mom's cooking or dad's grilling or whatever, and we just decided, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So on Wednesday nights, we bring in food for the students completely free of charge, no strings attached. It is our way of getting involved in their lives just a little bit more so that they know that somebody cares. And if there is a problem or they need help with something, they can talk to us at that time or any time. It just opens a door, basically. So we feed them, whether it's chicken and dumplings or chili or lasagna, whatever it is, we cook. Now, it started out very small, and I did the cooking, or my mother-in-law helped, or a local church.
Sure.
We only fed about 50 people in the
Right.
beginning. And now it's consistently 150 to 200 every
Yeah.
time we do it, and I can't quite make that much lasagna. So we still have home-cooked food. We have local churches that volunteer. They kind of do that as their mission once a month to
Right.
cook for the students. But also we have businesses that will volunteer and donate a complete catered dinner sometimes. Also, we have businesses that give us a discounted rate. We will buy the food, so it's not exactly homemade, but we're still giving them something really good for free.
And it's different than cafeteria food.
Yes, and the cafeteria food is good,
It's exceptional.
but it's not available at 9 o'clock at night,
Sure.
you know, and it's just a little tradition that we've started just to show them how much we care.
What better way to get to a student's, get into the students than through their belly?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's been happening for decades, and it continues today at UPike. You reach out to students, you let them know different ways that student success can help them, and I'm sure there are many different ways that you reach out as well. It all starts with SOAR,
Absolutely.
with some of their first visits to campus.
Yeah, that's the first time we get to see them usually and talk to the parents and learn a little bit about them and get our name out there.
Right.
So we do get to talk to the parents, and it makes parents a lot more comfortable to know that they've got somebody on the other side, that they're, you know, many times this is the first time that they have a child going away from them for more than a night or more than a week.
Sure.
And so we talk to parents, and it's comforting for them to know that we care and that they can call us if they need to and say, I've not seen Andrew in 3 days. Can
Yes.
you just lay eyes on him and make sure he's okay? Sure, we can do that. But we do talk to them there. We also go into their first year studies class, the first week of classes, and they get to meet me and Mandy both. We'll take them some kind of treat, chocolate, candy, something, and just explain to them what we can do to help. We try to be as visible as possible on campus, go to as many sporting events as we can, as many the humanities they have events, so we try to get out there and just be as involved as we can with students so that they see us and they become familiar and they know that we're around.
SOAR, of course, student orientation and registration takes place during the summer. It's something I've learned, what SOAR stands for over the course of time of doing these shows. And of course, your first interaction with students. You talk about parents. Mm-hmm. Being apprehensive. Maybe it's their first child, but I can speak from experience. With my first child, when he left for college, I had no issues.
Okay.
When my daughter, the second to go to college, I was very apprehensive because while my son, I felt like he could handle anything that was thrown his direction. My daughter, I was a little unsure.
Right.
And I think with each child is different, and I think different children, as you see, you deal with many more students than I do. Each student is different. Mm-hmm. And regardless of what kind of background they come from, they have different needs. Mm-hmm. How do you help identify those needs?
We try to get the word out there that you just need to communicate. We can't help, we can't fix anything if we don't know about it. And we tell students that, and we tell parents that. For example, life happens, you know. Sure. Maybe you have a death in the family, right, or illness, hospitalization, surgery, and you can't come to class. Well, in those stressful moments, it's not always the first thing on your mind. I need to let my professors know where I am.
Sure.
But we tell them that if they will let one of us know, then we'll take care of that communication with the rest of the campus for them, with their professors, with coaches, with whomever, and we'll handle it on this side until they're able to get back. We also tell parents if something is going on in your student's life that you think that we need to be aware of, right, that is affecting their ability to be a student or affecting their mood, or not just in a negative way, also in a positive way. If we're celebrating something really big, even if it's a birthday or whatever, then they can shoot us an email. We're both on Facebook, Twitter. You know, we have cell phones provided by the school. They can text us or call, whatever it may be. Let us know and we'll do something. Mandy is renowned for making cards and cupcakes, and she says bedazzles them, you know, with Bible verses, and she's just a little cheerleader for all the students on campus. So if we know, we try to tailor it to whatever is going on in the student's life at that moment.
But to know about those situations,
Right,
you have to build those relationships, and students and parents have to know that you're available to be there. I would imagine that starts with SOAR, but it has to continue. It has to be reinforced.
Right. We do try to get the word out as much as we can with SOAR, then with this program, you know, so we get the word out that way. We are on the website as well, and then a lot of just talking with campus, with faculty and staff. It spreads word of mouth just as much.
I would imagine with What's Up Wednesday and some of the other programs that students have a chance to, as you say, you're very visible at events. They understand very quickly that you are on their side. You're there for them, and the office is there for them. You and Mandy both as well, and you're truly interested in what's going on in their lives.
Absolutely. We bleed orange, 100%. UPike is our family, and we care. It's not just a byline. It's not just something we say. We really do care about them, and we try every way we can to show that.
What kind of obstacles have you seen for students? What are some of the toughest things that students, a freshman student, first time away from home, besides those that are obvious, homesickness, those that are away from home for the first time, what type of obstacles have you seen that are some of the toughest for students to overcome?
Mainly those life happens type things, the unexpected. Maybe they left a boyfriend or girlfriend at home, and that long distance relationship is tough, and there's a breakup or jealousy, or it's stuff that you think is very junior high, but it's not. It's universal.
Sure.
And then the homesickness is a big thing, but it's not as simple as just being homesick. It's that feeling of family and missing, knowing that there's somebody there who knows me type thing.
Right.
Other obstacles, like I said, are just life happens, car wreck, minor things, maybe that somebody fender bender, and they're not sure, do I call the insurance or police or what do I do? So it's just those first time things that happen that you don't think about. And like I said, it's different every day. We never know what kind of question or situation we're going to be involved to try to help problem solve with.
Right.
Problem solving is another big thing, because you're used to being able to go to mom or whomever and say, what do I do? And they fix it. So
Right.
now they're having to do a lot of their own fixing.
Sure.
And we try to walk them through that process as well.
I'll never forget the first time my daughter was away from home at college, and she called me. She said, "Dad, I've been in an accident." And I said, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." My next question was, "Where are you?" And she said, "Underneath a truck." And yeah, she had run her car underneath a truck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's a situation that a parent deals with as well. But I can imagine that some students would be hesitant to call mom or dad when they had just driven underneath another vehicle.
Absolutely.
It's one of those things in life that's certainly more hesitant. You run into serious issues. You talk about deaths in the family. You talk about illnesses. And I would imagine there are times when others on campus need to be consulted.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. We have a wonderful support system, and this is what I tell the parents as well. Mandy and I are good listeners,
Sure.
and we like to talk. We're good talkers, but sometimes it goes beyond what we can do, and they need to see someone who's trained to help them through this situation.
Right.
We have other people on campus. Within my office is housed the Campus Involvement Center, where we have professional counseling available free of charge, completely confidential, where students can go and see the counselors for a variety of issues, whether it's test anxiety. We have the counselors who have gotten, actually the nursing class this past year, we're having a lot of trouble with one particular test. All of them had test anxiety. So they did a group session with some breathing techniques and different things like that.
Right.
So they can help with those type things, but also they offer substance abuse and that type of counseling.
Sure.
Grief is a big thing that they help us with. Students with a death in a family, and they deal with depression, and sometimes it's a little deeper than just talking to me and Mandy and a box of tissues can do. So we have those resources available, and then we always, our go-to guy is the chaplain, Rob Music. He's wonderful to help us with talking with students. We have a lot of resources on campus, and we try to triage the situation and ascertain who would best help them and get them to the right place.
Right. And I think that's what's most important, and many times we take for granted what the office does, because there are so many services that maybe aren't necessarily in black and white, because the situations all aren't in black and white. They're ever changing, and they change with each student. You're tuned to Where the 99 Lead. It's a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville. I'm Andrew Joyce, joined by Ambria Ray, Director of Student Success at UPike. I've got to go back to something that we just talked about.
Okay.
So test anxiety, that's something that belongs to many others and not just me. And there's counseling available for that.
Absolutely.
I am more than half a century old, and I just learned that there was help for me.
Okay. Well, we learn something new every day.
Test anxiety, how prevalent is it?
I see a lot of it. I can't give you any statistics,
Right.
but we do have a lot of students. For example, I had a student a couple weeks ago, actually, it was in summer school, came in and talked to me and said, I've studied, I've put in hours on this, I know it. Or I quizzed myself back, someone else quizzed me, I know it. When I get in that room, I go blank.
Right.
I can't remember anything, and then I feel stupid. I feel like there's something wrong with me. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. Let's see what we can do to help with this situation. It might be test anxiety. It maybe not, but it might be. And I have not gone and talked to the counselors to see exactly how they help the students.
Sure.
But that's one of the things that I've heard a student say, yeah, they taught me some breathing techniques and how to calm myself down and clear my mind so that I can focus on what's in front of me.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the important parts of being a successful student. You've got to be able to pass the test. Life is not necessarily about written tests,
Right.
but life certainly is about passing those tests as we encounter each and every day. Ambria Ray, Director of Student Success, our guest on this edition of Where the 99 Lead. And Ambria, looking forward to another school year coming up. SOAR sessions wrapping up. What's special planned for the upcoming year?
Well, we're going to focus a lot on What's Up Wednesday. It grew so much last year that we're real excited about it. One of our biggest events was a pep rally just before the Moorhead football game, and I'm going to take credit for that.
You're taking credit for the win.
For the win,
Absolutely.
exactly. You know why? Huge pep rally,
Yes.
over 450 students,
Yes.
faculty, staff were out there, and we fed them steak and baked potatoes.
Yes.
Rolls with the cinnamon butter from Texas Roadhouse.
Right.
So I get credit for the win. I'm just kidding.
And we'll give you credit for that.
But we really want to reach out and work more in the community
Sure.
on partnerships,
Right.
so that we bring community in and the students are aware of opportunities out there. We do help connect students with shadowing opportunities. A lot of things happen through What's Up Wednesday, not just the free food.
Sure.
But yeah, we moved into some new offices this past year up on the second floor of the administration building. We've got a really cool setup. We're really enjoying that. So just expanding on what we're already doing. We're excited to move forward with those things.
We talked about community partners, sponsors with What's Up Wednesdays and other things that go on campus. If someone's tuned in right now, maybe they're a business leader, maybe they're a church leader, and they would like to become involved. They would like to help with this and take on this project to help make UPike students more successful. Who do they contact, and what's some information they might need to know?
I would be happy to talk with them, so they could contact me. And my email address is ambriaray@upike.edu. I could also be reached by phone at 218-5626. That's my office number. And then cell phone is 213-1636. I'll take text, call, whatever.
Of course, you've got to stay in tune with the students. You've got to be
Absolutely.
able to text. Ambria Ray, Director of Student Success at the University of Pike, our guest on this edition of Where the 99 Lead, making UPike students successful. It's what the office is all about. And again, Ambria, thanks for all that you and Mandy do.
Thank you.
I know it's an office coordination and trying to help students succeed in whatever way possible. Thanks for being with us again.
Thanks for having me.
Always our pleasure. Ambria Ray, Director of Student Success, our guest on this edition of Where the 99 Lead. On behalf of the University of Pikeville, I'm Andrew Joyce, UPike, the leading university of Central Appalachia.